How are you going to handle Christmas without Matix this year?
It's going to be really sad, but we sent him some presents. He sent us some presents.
Yeah.
So we're just going to FaceTime call him. Just all open presents together. It's going to feel a little bit different. It's going to kind of feel empty without him in person. A lot of the activities, though, he's just going to have to miss out on, which is really going to be sad. But we'll be able to talk to him, and that's what I'm happy about.
I am going to say this too. The hardest thing was letting Matix go. But then something beautiful happened. Like there truly is a gift and a silver lining to every hard and challenging situation. And that beautiful thing is that, Cash, I saw you rise and become a big brother. And maybe that just naturally happens. Like as kids leave, the personalities of the other kids do shift to kind of balance the family the way that the family needs to be balanced. And also, I'm really curious and excited to see my kids who are home experience Christmas with the three of them. And I really am going to miss Matix. Cash, you're on the podcast with me.
Yes, I am.
I'm excited about today.
I am too.
When was the last time you did a podcast with me? Do you remember what we talked about?
I don't. I think it was like routines.
It was what?
Routines.
Well, then you did that with me. And then we did a podcast where we talked about Matix leaving. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
But that was like, we didn't do a video. So this is like the first time you've done video in a while.
Oh, that wasn't a video.
No, that one wasn't. That was audio. So like, this is recording for audio. So it will go to like all places podcasts are streamed. This right there, what you're looking into is video. This will be for YouTube. Or like reels if they want to cut reels with it.
Then hi.
Cash loves podcasts because he's really good at talking.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I'm not good with words, but I am most of the time.
Dude, you're 13 and you are better with words and concepts than I am sometimes. It's pretty mind-blowing. It's actually really awesome. I feel like I can talk to you about concepts and ideas that I can't talk to most adults about.
Thank you.
Do you kind of agree though?
I do, yeah.
It's really cool. I love it.
Thank you.
And like every day you get older, like the conversations become more and more intriguing to me. The way your mind works is like fascinating.
Thank you so much.
And you have this like incredible ability to give empathy. Like to actually, you have a lot of empathy for other people.
Thank you.
And the advice. Okay, listen, this is a holiday episode, which is why I have Cash on here. Because there were a lot of questions that you guys wrote in about, viewers and listeners. Hi. Sorry, I've been kind of caught in conversation with Cash here, but you guys gave me a huge list of questions. I've gathered all of the questions. I've grouped them. I've organized them. And I'm going to answer most of them. There's only a couple that I'm not because it was just really kind comments or things that didn't apply to holiday. And I figured for half of the questions, I thought it would be advantageous to have Cash on. And he's been asking me to do a podcast. So I figured half of them have to do with family stuff. Cash is going to be here. And then the other half, that's like heavier stuff. I'm going to let you go play with Ruby.
All right.
So that's what we're going to do. But now that we know what's going to happen today, I have to pay you one more compliment. Like you guys, he is so great. Like he's so wise and you're so good.
Thank you.
At giving advice for things that like most adults couldn't give advice for.
Thank you so much.
Like it's better than a therapist sometimes. And not that I sit here and weigh him down with my problems because I don't, but we were having a conversation. Cash was asking me questions about a personal topic in my life. And he was kind of kindly grilling me a little bit, like helping mom make the right choice. I could tell he was concerned. It was really sweet. And it's a situation that, maybe I kept going in a circle around, right? Like a situation that was really, really good. And then it was really, really bad. And then it was really, really good and really, really bad. And Cash was like, Mom, sometimes I feel like you're not learning. And you said every time you go back to this situation, you say everything's so great, but this is a pattern. You actually pointed out to me.
It's like, I've heard this before.
Yeah. Cash is like, but I heard the same thing. And so I heard him. I said, okay. I said, well, I'm going to challenge you because situations can actually change. What was true yesterday might not be true today.
Mm-hmm.
And then Cash piped in with, okay. Because essentially what I was doing is I was seeing all of the good of a situation in this moment and ignoring the bad or the traits inside of a situation that might not be healthy for me. And then I would, down the road, I might be in the same situation and seeing all of the bad and ignoring all the traits that were good, right? So you saw this pattern that I was going through in a situation. And Cash walked me through this exercise and I was just mind blown. So, okay, Cash. So to anyone listening who is going through a situation where you find yourself in moments only seeing the good in a situation or a coworker or a friend or a relationship,
or only seeing the bad in a situation.
Yeah, or only seeing the bad, because that's kind of what most people are dealing with.
Yeah.
Even in life, just generally, like if you're a glass half full person, you're always seeing the good, which very few people are like that. I kind of jump into that though a lot with people. I give a lot of people the benefit of the doubt and see their positive traits and
like a second chance.
Yeah. Or like a 20th chance.
Yeah. That's what I said to you. Remember?
Yeah, you did.
Right over there.
You did. But I do think a lot of people, it's like we're glass half empty people. And we tend to see and focus on what's not going right all of the time. I do it in work. I'll be like, oh my gosh, this might be amazing, but all I'm seeing are the things that are not going right. So Cash, walk us through the situation. And then will you mind telling us the story behind it again, like you did for me?
Okay. So
he's looking at the camera. I love this.
Yes. Okay. I want you guys right now, to put everything down. You will probably still be able to hear this. But unless you're like in a public place where you can't, that's totally fine. Sorry. Put everything down right now. And I want you guys right now to look at everything in the room that is white.
Everything that's white. Okay.
Everything that's white. Your pillows, your ceiling, your walls, your paintings, anything that's white. 10, 9, 8.
Find all the white.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now, I want you guys to shut your eyes. Shut your eyes right now.
Okay. Eyes closed.
And I want you guys to tell me everything that was yellow in your room.
Oh! I wasn't looking for the yellow.
Exactly. If you're looking for the white or the good or the bad in some situations.
So say the white is bad. Like,
yeah.
If you're looking for the bad.
If you're looking for the bad in any situation, you won't be able to find any of the good. Like for me, I actually use this. I was in a music camp one time and we get songs that we have to play and we have to learn these songs and we have to learn parts for these songs. I was playing keyboard and you know me, I was doing amazing. I'm just kidding. But I'm just kidding.
You were though. And you're really good.
Thank you. But one of my friends who was there was playing the guitar and it was kind of spotty. And I'm like, okay, you really got to fix this. And I was hammering and I was nailing down on him, because I was getting mad. I didn't want that part to be bad. And
because you kept getting your part right.
Yeah.
And he kept messing up his.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And you were kind of going into a mode.
Yeah. It's like destructive criticism, right?
Okay.
Yep. And then I'm going to say the other form. What's it like? Creative criticism?
There's constructive and destructive.
Yeah. It was destructive criticism. And I wasn't looking for any of the good. I wasn't looking for any of the good. And then my music teacher, he actually taught me, if you're not looking for any of the good, you're only going to see the bad.
So your music teacher actually pulled you aside and did that exercise with you, right?
Yeah.
He had said, hey, Cash, look around the room for everything red. And you did. Then you closed your eyes and he said, okay, now tell me everything brown.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you opened your eyes, he said, this is what's happening right now. Is that right?
Yeah, he actually did say that. Huh?
Yeah. What's happening is you're looking for everything in this hypothetical, like figuratively, that's brown or bad, right?
Bad, yeah.
And not the good that actually exists.
Yeah. So I actually really thought about that. And
what was your reaction when your music teacher said that?
I'm like, yo, actually, you're right.
Yeah.
So I listened to that and then I applied that. I went back into the studio that we were playing the music in. And I said, all right, we're going to rehearse this again. Let's try this out. We rehearsed it. And this time, I was listening for all the parts that were good in the song. And there was actually a lot of good parts. So I really told him to really practice those because those are really good. And then I gave him constructive criticism on the parts that weren't good. I'm like, try like moving your fingers on the frets. Try just making smaller movements if you can in any way, or try instead just quickly sliding your hands instead of letting go and grabbing, I don't remember exactly what I said.
You were just a little more positive.
Yeah, I was more positive about it. I wasn't cracking down on him and like
getting upset.
Yeah, I was, and it really helped. He learned it like that because I was helping him and I don't know, but it really changed me. Now I like live by that because it's really helpful to live by.
Yeah, I think that's so awesome, buddy. And with regard, that's such a great analogy that I think everyone should take to heart. It's the idea of, are you wearing glasses that are rose colored? Like I have glasses that I got from Amazon that are hearts and rose colored, like they're pink. And like the analogy that I would use for the groups that I would teach is like, if you're wearing the lens of what am I grateful for or what is good, like if you start your day with gratitude and you're wearing the lens of gratitude, you're going to look around your life and see the things that you're
grateful for.
Yes, like they're going to be everywhere. It's like when you're shopping for a Tesla, suddenly you start shopping for a Tesla and there are Teslas everywhere on the road. No, there's the same amount of Teslas on the road. It's just you have the glasses of, I want a Tesla. You're looking for them, right? So if you put on the glasses every day of what is good, you're going to see the good. And then I have poop emoji glasses. It's like, remember, have you seen them? It's like a poop emoji. And like, if you're in a state of what's always wrong or what are people not doing right, you're going to continue to find things that are wrong. And circling back to my situation, this was actually so helpful for me because I recognize like I am a pro at switching those glasses on and off, and I need to be more consistent with how I do things. And then I'm going to say one more thing. Like this has been a big tangent and we still have a lot of Christmas stuff to talk, holiday stuff to talk about because this episode's actually going live December 30th.
Oh, so
after Christmas?
5 days after Christmas.
Yes, so they're listening to this after Christmas because, even
Let's
though we
go.
are before Christmas now.
New Year's is tomorrow.
Yeah, New Year's Eve. Huh? But
comment down below if you are watching the ball drop. I don't know.
I love it. Okay, should we jump into the Christmas or to the holiday stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so
let's go.
There are a lot of questions. I grouped them. I feel like the very first thing, you can't look ahead. This is going to be the very first thing we're going to talk about. So last podcast episode was an episode with me and Noe, my mom, everyone listening. And we talked a lot about our family traditions when I was growing up. And there were a lot of things that came through that were like, well, we want to know what your family traditions are with like your family and your kids and blah, blah, blah. And also what it's like without Matix. So these questions are going to be based around that. Mm-hmm. So question number 1, the first one, what does and this is Calm Power at Calm Power says, what does Christmas Eve look like? And when do we go to bed? Okay. Do you want to start?
Yeah. So usually what we do.
I'm curious if he remembers all of our traditions. Go ahead.
Usually we will, for Christmas Eve, I actually don't know what we do during the day. Oh, I do actually. What we do is we go to our grandma's house and we host like a big Christmas party and we celebrate with extended family and it's super fun. It's super enjoyable and it gets us in like Christmas spirit, I really love it.
I love that, dude. Okay, I'm going to expand on that. So as a divorced mom, the party at grandma's, do you know that it alternates? So one year it's on Christmas Eve, the next year it's on Christmas Day. Mm-hmm. So this year
it's on Christmas Eve.
Does happen to fall on Christmas Eve. So we kind of line it up with when I have my kids on Christmas Eve and then my brothers and their wives kind of do their, in-laws accordingly. But yeah, so we wake up, we kind of chill during the day. We do usually a breakfast on Christmas Eve. We've done, we have a lot of traditions.
We do a lot of M&M pancakes a lot of the time.
We do. I might go through a lot of the tradition, or maybe I'll save it. We do a lot of M&M pancakes.
We also do this on Christmas Day.
Yes, we do. I better go buy some M&Ms. I realize I'm out. But yeah, the Christmas Eve tradition. So one year it's at my mom's house when it was not at my mom's house. So last year we did a Christmas Eve celebration ourselves. And do you remember what kind of dinner we had?
I don't know.
We had Polish food. Remember Dad was sick?
I do, yeah.
Dad, Chris was going to come over and he got sick, and Noe was going to come over and she got sick. So it was literally just all of us.
Yeah.
And we talked about it in the last episode, but my family on my mom's side is Polish. And so we grew up every single Christmas Eve doing these amazing Polish dinners. Go listen to the episode with my mom because we dive into it. But we did the bread. Remember the breaking of the bread? So we have those, we do like the pierogies and we do the sausage.
Yeah.
We have like the wafers.
Uh-huh.
And we would go around the room and Cash, like we would each break a piece off of the other person's wafer as we told them something we loved about them or that we were grateful for. And it was just a really awesome way to kind of spread love and like connect.
Yeah.
Did you like that?
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. So we're actually doing Polish food this year at the big family party on Christmas Eve.
That's so cool.
Yes. And then this year, so we just laid out our entire Christmas schedule over the next week and a half the other day. We're going to be doing temple lights that night. So we go to the Mormon temple and we go see temple lights on Christmas Eve. Then we come home. Sometimes we'll do the Santa tracker to see where Santa's at.
Yeah. Well, usually, I feel like we've done this a couple of times. We'll usually heat up some hot cocoa.
Yep.
And we'll turn on a movie.
Yes.
We'll watch a movie.
A Christmas movie?
Yeah. And so we used to have a fireplace at our old house.
Yeah.
So we used to light the fireplace. This would be the only night we'd ever light the fireplace. We'd light the fireplace.
You're right.
And it was actually super fun. We'd all like huddle around it and we'd watch TV. We don't do that anymore though. But
because we don't have a fireplace. But
yeah,
we're looking at the TV right here.
Yeah, we watch TV.
The tree next to it. And we're definitely going to be doing.
I would personally say that the AC is a lot better than the fireplace, anyways. So I'm just kidding. Usually we'll watch a movie, and the night before we get this always used to get me so excited. We get it still does, but we get to open any present we want. Actually, no, we get to open a present before Christmas Day. And coincidentally, every single gift we've opened has been pajamas
on Christmas Eve.
I really wonder how. Seems impossible.
I'm like, eeny, meeny, miny. This is totally random.
Yeah,
how about these ones?
How about these?
And everyone gets pajamas.
Yeah, they're all the same exact box, and somehow they're all pajamas. It's really crazy.
That's a pretty cool tradition. And then what do we do? Then I think, is it safe to say that everyone gets really annoyed when I'm like, family picture?
Yeah. The 500 pictures on Christmas Day.
Last year, would you believe we did one? Remember that?
Yeah.
We literally did one picture.
That's what we need to do every Christmas,
We've
Mom.
been lucky. It's like God is in this home because we get the first picture on the first time. Or the right picture on the first time. And then what does it feel like on Christmas Eve? Like, how do you feel Christmas Eve?
Well, the hot cocoa in my system, the AC, and just the overall feel. It feels really warm and it feels cozy, you know.
Like, do you get excited?
Yeah, I was about to say, it gets me amped up for Christmas because it's the next day, you know. And I know Christmas Day, it's something else, man. It's so fun. But
what do you love the most about Christmas Day?
Christmas Day. Opening up the presents. I'm just kidding. Probably, I mean, don't get me wrong. Opening up the presents is really fun. But I really just like the joy of waking up, you know, waking everybody up and just the excitement flowing through the house, you know, because everybody's happy. Like, I don't think any of us have ever woken up on Christmas Day sad.
I can't think of any aspect of any Christmas we've ever had where there's been fighting or any, like, it's been so great. Like,
there's no fighting. Sometimes there's play fighting, but you know, that's what people do, you know?
Yeah. Like I ran into Santa, you know, a couple times, and I will say Santa stays up until wee hours of the morning getting everything put together. And I know, like, for me as a mom, I would do anything to make Christmas Day feel magical for you guys. So my favorite part of Christmas is waking up in the morning, being woken up by you guys. Let's be honest. I don't wake up first. Yeah. Being woken up by you guys, usually asking if I can sleep a little longer. And then when I finally get up, no one goes downstairs. That's the rule. And I love that I have 4 kids who don't break that rule. But they all wait for me, and then I go downstairs and I get ready. I see what Santa brought, and it's all laid out and so fun and warm, and
it's so fun.
And then at the same time, everyone just goes trickling on downstairs, and the excitement of, you know, just Christmas morning. It's not even the gifts, but it's like, you know, the stockings are there, and it's like Santa and the magic is there, and I love that.
I have to say something. Out of all years, this has to be the year that I've listened to the least amount of Mariah Carey.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
We started this week on the way to school.
I've heard her song like twice.
But think about it. I think part of the reason we haven't listened to much Mariah is you guys were in New York last week.
Oh, yeah.
So you heard in New York.
Yeah, I heard a lot more Alicia Keys.
You were with Dad. And so this is really the first week back. Like, we still have, you know, listener, this is after Christmas, but we still have a full week.
Yeah.
And a day before Christmas. Turn up the Mariah Carey.
Yeah, seriously.
Keep going. Listen. Another thing you don't know about Cash, you have such a good voice, and he'll be messing around like singing ridiculous little jingles, and I'll turn to him and be like, oh, you're so amazing. And he's like, that song? It doesn't even matter. You could sing the dictionary, and like, it's beautiful.
Thank you. I
want to try
appreciate
that? Baby. Oh wait, that's not the dictionary.
It's like, what would the first word be?
Do
it's
the
like,
Mariah Carey.
Hard work.
Do Mariah Carey for us.
No, I'm not singing.
Okay, don't.
If I sing, I'm just gonna be like, just joke around. Like,
okay, we're gonna go into. Do you want to joke around? Joke around.
No,
joke around. Do you want me to sing? I don't want a lot more. I'm not a singer. All right. Question number 2. Let's move on to number 2. So this person, there are a handful of people that wanted to know about Christmas traditions in Arizona. So this person said, Arizona Christmas traditions, ? Doesn't seem like Christmas without snow is what this person said. And then there were others asking what other traditions we have, not just on Christmas Day. So I think this is a great time to talk about, Cash, what are some things local here in Arizona that we do around Christmas? And I'm going to break out the calendar because we literally just planned our Christmas break the other night. You were just hinting at something. What were you hinting at?
So basically, what we do is there's this road that is kind of far, maybe like a 30-minute drive. And we usually get hot cocoa and we go over and we drive down the road, and it's super comfy and super cozy. And there's Christmas lights. There's a radio tuned up to it. So we can hear the radio. We can listen to the radio the radio like is connected to the lights. So when the radio plays, like, what's a good song? You know, like, da, 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 dun, dun, da, da, dun, dun, da, da. You know what I'm talking about? Like, the lights like play with it, and it's really cool.
They do.
It's like bum bum bum. I don't know. My hands.
It was perfect. I get it. And anyone watching gets it.
Yeah.
Like the whole, what are you saying? The entire street of lights on both sides, the whole way down the street. It's actually called Comstock in Gilbert. So if you're in Arizona looking for something, Comstock usually has a massive line of cars, but they're all synchronized to the music.
Yeah, it's really awesome to watch. And it's like you get to listen to Christmas music and you watch the lights. Sorry. And it's really entertaining to watch, you know? And it gets you in the Christmas mood for tomorrow, you know?
And you can do it. We did it last year on Christmas Eve, I think. Mm-hmm. And I think we typically have. This year, we're doing the Mesa, Arizona Temple lights, which is another great thing to do. And you don't have to do it on Christmas Eve. But at the Mormon Temple, beautiful, like the beautiful nativity. It's the whole grounds of that temple are gorgeous. But yes, so Comstock is a really great place. I just realized something as you were saying that. Do you know this is the first year I don't have a truck. So we had gotten rid of our truck.
So we won't.
I'm not dating a man with a truck anymore. Okay, we're gonna move on. So that being said, we don't have a truck. We might have to borrow a truck. No. My brothers have trucks, dude. We can find a truck. I got friends who have trucks. Okay, so let's talk about what else there is to do in Arizona. So we are doing this thing. I'm not going to tell you which night, but I believe for most of December through, I think through the 31st of December, the Fairmont Princess Resort in Scottsdale does this thing called Christmas at the Princess. And Christmas at the Princess, they have, I think they say 10 million lights. It's like this amazing light display. I've never been. This is going to be our family's first year doing it. You can either go and you can buy a ticket and just they have like fire tables, they have ice skating, they have Christmas crafts, they have Santa and Mrs. Claus you can take pictures with and do cookies with them. From what I understand, it's really amazing. They have like an ice sculpture, like ice igloos, and I don't even know, maybe like a frozen thing. So have you been there?
No, but I've
read
seen
about
pictures. Yeah.
I'm really excited. Are you excited to do this?
Heck yeah.
We're going to go up. We're actually going to do a staycation just one night. And I figure, at night, the night we get there, we can kind of do all the nighttime stuff and like look at the lights or whatever. And then the next day we have tickets to ice skate. So I'm super excited about that. So that's something to look into if you're here in Arizona. And to the person saying it doesn't feel like Christmas without the snow, to me, it's the only kind of Christmas that I know is not having snow.
Yeah.
I love it. And there's something cool about cacti. Like it's decorated, a cacti decorated with lights.
Yeah, it's like red and blue.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
I love it.
But or red and white, I guess more like.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it I feel like for people like up in, where would it be a good place, like Michigan?
Yeah,
I think they get snow.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know. Yeah, they do. Washington, New York.
Yeah,
just places up more north. It's probably going to be more normal for you guys because that's what you guys have been like living for, or like living with. For us, it's
this is the huge.
Yeah, this is just what we live with.
Just another Christmas.
It's. I personally like it because I was just in New York and it was fun. I had a really good time. But what I realized up there, it gets really cold, and it was actually warm up there. It was like 40 degrees.
But that's cold for us.
Yeah, that's really cold for us. But I know usually it's a lot colder, So I was super happy that it was warm.
Yeah.
But I feel like for us, just this temperature, right now it's 60 degrees. And I'm fine with that. This temperature is just perfect.
It's perfect for Christmas, right?
Yeah. For us, I love it because there might not be snow out of the sky and it doesn't have the white Christmas kind of feel, but it's what I'm used to,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So a couple other things we're going to be doing this Christmas. We always go see movies. So we have tickets to go see Sonic 3, which he's so excited about. And then we don't have tickets for this yet, but I am so excited. What's the movie I am literally dying over?
Mufasa.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even know that was a movie until last night. Mufasa, as in the Lion King father, Mufasa, it goes back into his history. Apparently he wasn't even royalty. And I am dying to see. I was already getting emotional in the preview.
Yeah.
Do you remember Wild Robot? Oh, you didn't see Wild Robot with us.
Didn't.
Oh, it's so good. I cried like crazy. Those kids' animated movies are kind of my jam. So we'll be hitting up the movies. There's that one. I don't know if you thought it looked as good. Something about Christmas pageant. So we're going to be looking them all up and filling our days. What's another thing? Oh, the other thing we're going to be doing I'm not going to tell you when. I'm so excited about this. Cash and our family did our first escape room together.
We're doing another.
Yes. I actually had to reserve 2 different time slots because my mom, Noe's coming and she might bring someone. And there were, the time slot that I bought didn't have enough slots. So anyway, I have 2 reserved. But this escape room, Like they had the best, I'll give you the name. It's Inferno. So if you're in Arizona, it's Inferno. It's over in like Tempe area. And it's on, I think like Guadalupe and McClintock or somewhere over there. They have a candy shop, escape room. That was my intro. I've never done one before. It was so fun. And then as we were walking out, they had a whole Christmas workshop escape room. So I booked that for our whole family, and I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun.
Polish dinner. I do a German chocolate cake every single year. That's a tradition. I might attempt a pie this year. I don't know. We're definitely going to be doing sugar cookies. We already have done sugar cookies.
You should do a pumpkin pie.
Oh, do you want me to?
Actually, that's more Thanksgiving.
Easy. I can do that. If it's easy, I can do it.
Yeah. What about what would be Christmas?
Apple.
Cranberry. No, that's Thanksgiving.
What about
too.
crapple?
Crapple?
Cranberry apple.
I don't know if that's what it means.
Or appleberry. That would actually be good.
An apple pie would be amazing.
Okay. Okay. Now we're gonna go to number 3.
Can I read this one?
Yep. You're
okay.
Right there. Number. It says 15,
okay.
but I numbered it 3.
How are you gonna handle Christmas without Matix this year? Get your work out on Ab.
That's the person who submitted it.
Yeah.
How are you gonna handle Christmas without Matix this year?
It's gonna be really sad, but the whole headquarters up, like the people that run the missions, they're letting people call like their kids on Christmas Day. So we're probably gonna FaceTime call him. We sent him some presents. He sent us some presents.
Yeah, they're right there.
Where?
They're the red plaid ones up there. Yeah,
that's so awesome.
Those are from him. He wrapped them himself, which is crazy. He's never done that.
Dang. Yeah,
he's growing up.
Seriously. But yeah, we're allowed to FaceTime him, so we're just gonna FaceTime call him, and we're probably just gonna all open presents together, and we're gonna have an awesome time. It's gonna be really fun.
That's a great answer.
Well, hold on. Can I finish?
Keep going, of course.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say hold on like such a bratty tone.
No, buddy, you're not a brat. Sorry. You're such a good kid. Go ahead.
I did not mean to say it like that. I'm sorry.
You're
but
so cute.
What was I going to say? Oh yeah. It's going to feel a little bit different. It's going to kind of feel empty without him in person, but it hopefully should feel normal, you know. A lot of the activities though, he's just going to have to miss out on, which is really going to be sad cuz that's what was really the fun part with him. But yeah, we'll be able to talk to him, and that's what I'm happy about.
I love that. That's a great answer. When I was FaceTiming Matix, I don't think you were there, Cash, but I was FaceTiming him a couple weeks ago. We had just gotten all the Christmas decorations up, and I said, do you want me to show you the Christmas decorations? And he said, I don't. And I said, really? He's like, no, I think it's just going to make me miss everything that's there. And he is doing such a great job, you guys. And you know this, Cash, like keeping the most incredibly positive attitude. Like he has said a few times, well, okay, like he'll hear about the stuff at home and he'll acknowledge it and stuff and say, almost acknowledge like, hey, this is my priority right now is focusing on serving. And but not saying that he doesn't care about what's going on at home, but he's unaffected by a lot of the hard that he's hearing is happening in Arizona, right? Like, because I'll ask him, hey, how does this situation make you feel that you heard about? And he's like, I'm sad for that person, but also this is where my head's at. And so I'm mostly focused on this. And so it's almost like it's not real because I'm not there. So Christmas, yeah, we are going to FaceTime. He got all of his presents. I tried to send presents that were like small because he has to move around every 6 weeks from what they had transfers where they switch companions. And he learned quickly after his first transfer, holy crap, I can't have all the clothes that I thought. He had me shipping stuff up to him at first. And then he had a transfer, and I've gotten 3 boxes that he shipped back home. So Christmas, we tried to do stuff that is like small or memorable, like a tie that he can wear that is personalized.
This, right?
No, he's not going to hear this.
He's getting multiple crumbs. You guys know what those are like that. Or he got multiple crumbs actually, because this is past tense, I guess.
Which is like a game. So crumb is a game.
No, this is past tense. This is whatever. You guys know what I mean. This is in the future. So he got a bunch of the crumbs. If you guys know what I'm talking about.
Well, he only got one because he doesn't have room for many. He bought another one though.
Oh,
for
yeah.
himself. And I bought him one before.
But for the people who don't know what that is, it's like the kind of stick. It kind of looks like a T with like a string attached to a ball, and you have to try to like
It's like
throw
a game.
the ball up and like catch it on the T. And it's actually pretty fun.
Yeah, I think because not because they don't have electronics. So these small games are things that like he really loves. So what's it going to be like without Matix? It is going to be interesting and difficult. Now, I am going to say this too. There's nothing like having our entire family at home and together for the Christmas holidays, for any holidays, really. It's like, that's where it feels super magical. Now, I also have to say that the hardest thing was letting Matix go. It was so hard. But then something beautiful happened. Like there truly is a gift and a silver lining to every hard and challenging situation. And that beautiful thing is that I saw Cash, who was always the younger brother and maybe a little overlooked, rise. Cash, I saw you rise and become like a big brother. And you've always been a big brother to Ruby, but I really can see it. And almost like just parts of him growing up, and your humor has come out more. It's like you have more of a voice than before. And maybe that just naturally happens. Like as kids leave, the personalities of the other kids do shift to kind of balance the family the way that the family needs to be balanced. So I always want all of my kids, and I'm really sad Matix isn't here. And I'm so happy he's where he's loving it right now and he's feeling accomplished and good. And also, I'm really curious and excited to see my kids who are home experience Christmas with the three of them, you know? And I really am going to miss Matix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, Cash, I think this might be all of the questions. The next one you kind of could weigh in on, but then I feel like you've been here for a while.
I feel like it too.
I'm going to ask this.
I'm just kidding. I could stay here forever.
You're so awesome, buddy.
Sweet, thank you.
Okay, I'm going to let you go upstairs and play, and I'll finish the rest of this, okay?
Sweet, thank you.
Oh, do you have anything you want to say to them?
Thank you guys for listening to me just, I guess, yap. Just talk a lot, you know?
They loved it.
All right. Thank
Love you, buddy.
Thank you guys for listening to me. See you guys next time.
Okay, that was awesome. I love having Cash there. He has so many great things to share. Like I'm telling you, he is just so much wisdom in a 13-year-old. But the next question actually was something Cash could weigh in on, but I thought it might be easier for me to kind of weigh in from a mom's perspective. This next question, and I got this a few different ways. People saying, how do you and Chris, or we'll say dads, because I'm divorced, how do you and Chris manage the holidays? So that's a really great question. I'm going to start by saying, hold on, I'm going to step back. I want to make sure it's super clear with what I said about Matix not being here, that no part of me is saying, I'm excited to have Christmas without Matix, because that's not the case. And I want to be crystal clear about that, because I think any mom, and I feel like because Matix is my first, there's naturally a really close bond with a mom and their first always. But I'm also someone that puts on my rose-colored glasses, and the silver lining is that I get to experience these kids in their new almost personalities, because there is like a new personality. I get to see Cash be a bigger brother on Christmas. I get to see Ruby, who has gotten much closer to Mars since Matix left. I get to see Mars, who is now super close to Cash. Where like those dynamics, Matix was the one when he was here that all the kids got along with. And then sometimes the other ones didn't get along with each other, and that was real. Matix was the kid who got along with Marley, he got along with Cash, he got along with Ruby. And so losing him was like, there was a part of me that's like, how is everything going to be when he's not there to make it good all the time? And Marley and Cash, who really struggled with each other, are so close now. And it's so beautiful. So there really is a gift in all of the things. So I'm excited to see those gifts play out in a holiday. And I found it's interesting. I've gotten much closer with Cash and Marley, the two, like naturally, you know, Matix is the oldest. Ruby's the youngest, so naturally, like Ruby needs more help. Matix needs more help as he paves the way. Maybe Cash and Mars over time have been a little ignored unintentionally, because they've always been such good kids. And so now this Christmas, having a different relationship with Cash and Marley, I'm just excited to see it all play out, if that makes sense. Okay, now that guilty mom moment is over, and we go back to how do Chris and I manage Christmas? Okay. I feel like I hit the lottery. I think Chris would say this, but Chris also doesn't know any different. He's only ever been an ex with me. I really feel like I hit the lottery with Chris being the dad of my kids. Truly. And that extends far beyond just Cash and Ruby, and how he is to Matix and Marley. Amazing. He treats them like his own. When he and I are in like a little scuffle, because we fight like brother and sister sometimes, we can within seconds, we'll get over it. Within seconds, it might still be there, and it might still need to be resolved, but we will get over it very quickly, even when it's something about the kids or a disagreement with what we think is best for the kids. We'll get over it to make it work for the kids, right? And Christmas is actually, I feel like we do a really great job with Christmas. Sometimes with birthdays and we'll usually get together, figure out what we're getting each of the kids. We actually haven't done that this year. Interesting. But we did for Ruby's birthday. We kind of went in on the presents together and had a joint birthday party. But I think just because of how crazy it's been, we haven't done that with Christmas. But sometimes we will put our heads together. We'll probably do it before Christmas just to make sure that things that the kids really wanted, they're getting at both houses, or okay, what are the other things that they want? And what's your budget? What's my budget? How do we split this up so the kids feel seen and appreciated and almost experience a similar Christmas at both houses? It doesn't need to be the same, because he has his traditions that I completely respect, and I have my traditions that he completely respects. There has not been one single Christmas since the divorce where Chris has not joined for the big family party on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day with my family, and I love it. He gets along with everyone in my family. My family loves him. My family loves everyone. They love all of my exes. They truly do. And they treat them all like royalty. But Chris gets along really well with my family. And that means a lot to the kids. I think while Chris loves my family as well, I think it's safe to say that he loves his kids so much that he will do whatever he knows will provide the best experience for them, which says a lot about who he is. Again, I've seen a lot of different examples, and I don't see many like that. Okay, so for what we'll do is 1 year. So this year, I have week 1 of Christmas break, and that means I get the kids Christmas Eve through Christmas Day at 2 p.m. is how we set it up. And then he gets the kids Christmas Day at 2 p.m. for 24 hours. So the kids, essentially every single Christmas, they get to have Christmas morning, say with mom, Christmas afternoon with dad, they get to spend the night, and then they come back to mom's for the rest of the week. And then dad would get them for New Year's Eve. And then the next year it's flip-flopped. So next year the kids will be with dad for week number 1. They'll get Christmas Eve and Christmas morning with dad. And then we'll flip-flop and do, Christmas late day at mom's house. And then it just kind of goes back and forth. It's great. And we have had, there are, again, because kids are first, we will do gift opening together sometimes, just kind of depending, but there's always an open invite both ways. So I am very appreciative. And, some of that might change. It hasn't changed with relationships yet. It has not changed at all, because there's just a mutual respect for where the other person is. And maybe it will change as kind of families shift and grow, but right now it works really well for us. Okay. The next question, let's see where we're at. Do I reminisce with my children on past Christmases? I think maybe this was kind of answered by what you heard Cash talk about, but yeah, we really do. And I do think that the Christmas we've all loved the most, we love them all. Every year the kids actually say, this was the best Christmas yet. And I know that they really mean it. That's a lot of pressure on me as a mom sometimes to try and outdo that and make the next one the best Christmas ever. But I love that. And I'm so grateful that the kids feel that way. But the one that sticks out to me the most, and I feel like down the road, the kids might say the same, but the Christmas that meant the most to us all individually, I actually believe was the Christmas where we gave the least. Like we gifted the least. And that like shift from these huge Christmases that were so big and focused on what like lists that the kids were making and gifts that they each wanted to receive, right? So the focus was on themselves. It kind of grew over time to be able to wipe the slate clean and say, okay, we're not doing it this way anymore. It's no longer about what we want ourselves. And it's about how am I going to make my siblings smile? How am I going to make their Christmas bright? What am I going to get them? What am I going to make them? They didn't even have to buy them a gift, but just shifting from a me to a you perspective. That Christmas morning was so beautiful because it was like, we had like 20 gifts. That was it. And it took us like hours to open them because every single gift, the kids were so excited to see the reaction of like a gift that they worked so hard to figure out for their sibling. There was a lot of laughing, a lot of love. So yeah, there is a lot of reminiscing about Christmases and just usually Christmas morning and how fun that is and the traditions that you kind of have heard about. Okay, so now we're going to get a little more practical. Someone saying, handful of people actually asking, how do you stay on track during the holidays? This was kind of written a couple different ways. How do you stay on track with eating and working out during the holidays? I don't know. I didn't mark the other ones. I don't know how yet to be fit and have treats. I gain. So basically just people saying, how do you stay fit? How do you stay healthy during the holidays? So what I'm going to say to that is take the pressure off of yourself to have the holidays be a time where you continue losing weight. So if you're on a weight loss journey right now, I want you to say over the next couple of weeks, well, right now when you're listening to this, it's, New Year's time, right? Get the pressure off of you to be perfect during the holidays. One of the things, like the holidays are meant to be enjoyed. Right? Now we know that overindulging causes us to not enjoy as much because then we experience shame, we experience guilt. But also what causes us not to enjoy as much is when we put so many restrictions on ourselves, like I can't have brownies, I can't have sweets, I can't have this, that all that we end up thinking about are the things that we can't have. One of the things I want to suggest is think through right now what your body goals are. Because I know that this question came from someone, because they expanded a little, who has some weight to lose. And I want you to ask yourself, why is it that I want to lose weight anyway? Chances are that you want to lose weight or you want to reach a specific body goal because you want to enjoy your life, right? You want a life that you enjoy, a life where you feel good, a life where you look good. And sometimes we think that if we look better, we're going to like our life more. We're going to like ourselves more. Well, the reality is if quality of life and enjoyment of life is what we're truly after, then I think that means that on Christmas and New Year's and at birthdays, we should get to enjoy a little bit, right? Because if we're after enjoyment, that's what it is. Now, there's a really great quote that I love, and I don't remember if I've said this on the podcast or not, but the quote, I think it was a tattoo that Angelina Jolie had, and it really resonated with me at the time that I read it, because I was in the middle of an eating disorder decades ago, but her quote said something to the tune of, "That which nourishes us also destroys us." And I love that because it's like, oh my gosh, like these things that are meant to be good for us, food, right? It can also destroy us if we misuse it, if we abuse it, if we eat too much, if we eat too little. Food can actually destroy. So that being said, during the holidays, know that overeating or overindulging, it's not about the calories that you're consuming that's going to tear you up. It's about the shame that we allow ourselves to feel when we overeat, and also maybe even the physical pain of like the lethargy that comes with eating too much. So that being said, I want you to enjoy foods. I don't want you to have any guilt when you pick up the cookie, but maybe if you're interested in not overeating, practice some of the tips that I have. So one of my favorite ones is always drinking a protein shake before I have any snack. Like truly, like if I'm going to have cookies, I drink protein shake. Why? Because protein is the most immediately satiating macronutrient, which means you're going to get fuller faster. And also, the water keeps us fuller longer, right? So the water combined with the protein, you can throw the fats from the cookies will actually close that pyloric valve. So we're going to stay full if we have that water, the protein, and the cookie in our belly. We're a lot less likely to overeat. So that's really important. I would say make sure you're eating, like focus on addition, not subtraction. So instead of I can't have these foods, then say, okay, I'm going to eat these foods, but what am I going to add? What am I going to add to my day or to my meal? Like instead of just having the pie, what real whole natural foods that are nutrient dense can I add to my plate to make sure I'm getting the rainbow? And just by adding that bulk with, carrots, veggies, whatever, protein, add lots of protein to your holidays, you're actually going to find yourself overindulging less, but have fun. It's the holidays. Don't beat yourself up. Right? Okay, so there's my advice there. The next one. Okay. This is, we're going to talk about a lot of comments coming through from single moms. So one of them saying, my first Christmas ever alone, suggestions what to do, road trip maybe. Another one saying, I'm a single mom. The song Hard Candy Christmas, man, this hits different now. Another one saying, I have for decades. Oh no, here we go. Single mom at Christmas. Oh, this is the worst. Another one, I'm a single mom for the first time. I don't know if I can handle this. Another one, I'm a single mom and I have all of my kids to wrap and set up Santa for. How do I do this? How have you done this for years? Another one saying, this is my first time without my kids on Christmas. I'm not sure how to handle it. There were a lot of the single mom comments. So here's the thing. I had someone the other day on a post of mine where I referenced myself as a single mom say, like, kind of yell at me. And she said, you suggesting that you're a single mom is a slap in the face to everyone who really is. And until you are a single mom, because one of my kids recently has been with me full time, and there's a lot more to any story that anyone knows. Mm-hmm. So I know my status of single momhood, and that's all that matters, right? So I am, and I also recognize as I say this, that there are a lot of women out there, women listening to this right now, who have a single mom situation that is heavier or more intense maybe than mine might be for me. But regardless, I'm not even speaking to just because I feel the financial, there's a financial heaviness to the holiday. There's I don't have a man. This is the absolute first Christmas ever where I'm not dating somebody or I'm not married. Like literally every other Christmas, I've either been in a relationship, in a marriage. Even when Chris and I were going through the divorce, we still lived together. Or I've been in some kind of relationship where a man has been present to help me. So I'm not saying woe is me, right? Because I got this. Actually, this is the Christmas where I don't have a man, where I feel the most equipped to handle it. But the reality is there is a lot of pressure for any single mom going through the holidays, whether your kids are at home and you're having to do it all yourself, you're figuring out shopping. For me, I know I was just telling a friend this the other day, I'm constantly questioning my budgeting. Like, am I budgeting right? Am I spending too much? Am I spending too little? Like, are the kids all even? Like, that is the thing. I have a whole spreadsheet, you guys, where I have every single dime I have spent on each kid. And I'm trying so desperately, not only to have the dollar amounts match up because, I don't want anyone to feel like they were undercut or got too much, But I also, when I lay them all out, I want the gifts to look like they're the same. So I want stockings to be the same. I want the Santa gifts to be the same. Sorry, Ruby's around here somewhere. I want the gifts from me to look the same. I want the budget from the sibling. And I know it's probably ridiculous because the kids probably don't even notice this stuff. But as a mom, there's so much pressure that I likely place on myself to make everything what I want it to be for my kids. Like I know what my childhood felt like when I had a mom and a dad who were dividing and conquering, but I know how warm it felt for me. I know how loved I felt. I know how magical Christmas was. And I do feel like it's a heavy burden to recreate that for my kids with just myself. Now, saying it's a heavy burden, I would never take it away because it actually is one of my greatest callings. And it's one of the things that I get the most excited about, like making this experience happen for my kids. But to the single moms out there who are going through the same thing and trying to figure out how to do it all on your own, one of the best pieces of advice, I actually, I read this post the other day that backed this up, but one of the best pieces of advice was given to me by a friend a couple Christmases ago. And she had said, Heidi, like stuff is going to fall through the cracks. It just is. I know I podcasted about this. Things are not going to be right. Gifts are not going to show up. The kids might get, you might spend more on one kid. You might spend less. You're going to forget things, some of the traditions that you plan to implement. You're going to realize as the time's coming that you didn't get to, like all of these things. And Christmas is going to be amazing. The kids are not going to realize it. They care less about the tradition, not the traditions. They care less about the things we think make Christmas perfect for them. And they care more about spending the season with you. I mean, truly, like just me spending time making cookies in the kitchen with Ruby. It was a 4-hour Christmas cookie thing. That meant the world to her. The fact that I'm going to an escape room, the fact that we sit and watch a Christmas movie, like the fact that I actually put everything down, the fact that like the kids wake up in the morning and the elves are creatively hidden somewhere in the house. Like those are the things that mean so much to my kids because they know that, especially the last handful of Christmases, this one probably the most, there's so much time that I put into caring for them. The things that I don't get right, they don't even notice. There was a really great post I want to read by Jen Hatmaker. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Let me find it right now. I don't know if you follow Jen Hatmaker, but this post, I bookmarked it somewhere. Okay, so this post, it was a text chain. It's funny because it was with her kids about the same thing I just said. She was telling her kids, hey, just so y'all know, when you get here on Christmas, everyone's budget is within $10 of the other kids, so don't complain. It was a really funny text. And her kids are like, one of them's like, Mom, you know that I don't care. And the other one's like, oh, I'll be counting. So it was a really cute thing. But her caption was what really got me. She said, just a short message for those of you managing Christmas as a single parent. This is my 5th Christmas alone. My friend Laura called last night in the only 4-minute window I could have answered my phone at all yesterday, and I told her how I was feeling. This is tricky because I love Christmas and my kids are not burdens. They are the joy of the holidays for me, full stop. But there are a few seasons in which I feel my divorce most acutely, and Christmas is one of them. The labor of it all, without any help, sometimes pulls me underwater. 5 kids plus a dear daughter-in-law, a house, the gifts, the stockings, the tree, the yard, the cooking, the hosting, the gift lists, the traditions I alone keep up, the wrapping, the scheduling, a ski trip with the whole extended fam we leave in 14 hours, and the management of it all is just so much. It feels like so much because it is so much. Before 2020, I had a major helper whose specialty was gift giving and we split the work. And even then, it was a lot. I've always wanted Christmas to be special for my family, but even more so after divorce. Oh, I feel that. I needed it to feel, quote, as good as ever, so one thing was safe and protected. Thus, despite knowing all I need to know about boundaries and limits and true meaning of Christmas, I overdo everything and worry and fret and take constant temp checks, even though the kids are right as rain. I'm just saying, that I see those of you doing Christmas by yourself. It can truly be really lonely, she says, and hard, and no amount of beautifully wrapped gifts under the tree, identical amounts spent on everyone, of course, can make up for a missing parent and partner who once shared the workload and delight of it all. So whatever doesn't get done, doesn't. I think we may be the only ones keeping score. We can engineer a good enough Christmas and everyone will still be thrilled because they are loved. And you are loved, single mamas. You are so loved. I see you working so hard and caring so much and keeping all those plates spinning. I love you. You're doing a beautiful job. You are enough and you are doing enough. I loved that post. Those are all Jen's words. And as I read that, I felt validated in every way that I felt. And, once again, it's that same bit of advice echoed. I don't even know that there is anything else I can say right now to top that off. Jen, thank you for posting that. Thank you for those words. And single moms listening, I want you to know that I love you. And I see you and I know how hard you're working. And a bit of advice that I'm going to give you, whether you're single or not, I'm going to give this to you. Don't compare this time of year especially. And just remember when you're watching anyone's Instagram or highlight reel, including and especially mine, right? Do not look at what's being posted and perfectly curated and believe that there's nothing hard or bad or there's no yelling going on in the background. I mean, maybe we will keep some of the yelling that I had in this episode to my kids upstairs. So you know that it is real life here too. And, comparison is the thief of joy. This year, there is so much to be joyful about. Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of grief, especially in the holidays that we didn't really dive into because there was a lot of grief talk in the episode with my mom. So if you want that, go listen to the previous episode. But there is hard. And one of the best things we can do is not subject ourselves to any more of the hard than we need to. There's also so much joy. And let's not rob ourselves of the joy by looking at anyone's Instagram account, seeing what their family looks like in that picture perfect moment, or what their videos look like of like their highlights, the things that they loved and enjoyed the most. And I want you to remember this. When people are posting highlight reels, right? And I speak for myself. It's not that I'm sitting there going, oh, I'm going to post everything that's amazing so people feel bad. That's not the intention, I don't think, of anyone. I think what we're doing is we're saying, oh my gosh, this moment meant so much to me. I want to share it. Like it meant so much. I want everyone to feel the joy that I felt inside of this moment. And also, just remember that there's a lot more behind that moment and all of those moments than the camera can see. You're doing amazing. You're doing enough. I love you. And I kind of feel like this is the perfect time to wrap up this podcast episode that went much longer than I thought. Actually, and when you're listening to this, it's December 30th or the 31st or January 1st. So I do have some really awesome New Year's posts or New Year's podcasts that I am planning to record in the next couple weeks when life slows down after Christmas. But Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And just a massive thank you for being with me this entire year. I mean, I don't care if this is your first episode or your second episode, or you've listened to all of them. Having you by my side and support this, it means more than you know. Happy New Year.